got 120 foot-pounds of torque, and when I say just shy of it, and really in the meat of the RPM, so 3,500, you're right at full torque on it. And then as far as horsepower goes, huge horsepower gain. Now, of course, you're going to feel it from bottom to top. So, I mean, you've got, sometimes you'll see something where the lines will basically be the same through somewhat of the meat of the RPMs, and then the horsepower starts really breaking off and change as it gets up in the RPMs. But you're getting an increase in horsepower from the very get-go. So I really think that you're going to feel bottom to top on it. I mean, we have a low RPM to high RPM gain on this thing. Pretty normal gain throughout the entire thing. There's not a lot of it, just a little gain here to a big gain up here. It's pretty well the same, but I would say that you're seeing the meat of the gain somewhere after 4,000 RPMs. I mean, you're seeing a good 10 horsepower gain.
I've never twisted that hard.
So, well, you might. So now that it's been tuned to make this type of increase, and that really correlates right around in the same area where you're making the most torque as well, you might find yourself, one, riding it there, not just because maybe it's a little bit funner, but two, that the bike might be a little bit happier there than it was previously.
Yeah, because you can feel that thing where it's a hard thing to describe if nobody knows what that feeling is.
Sure.
It's just easy.
Well, it's
there.
Yeah.
It's out. It's there and it's out.
Well, you get, you know, as many miles as you put on, we get to know our bikes. We know where they're happy, where they're not happy, when they're struggling in the RPMs. That's why, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm never shifting by my tachometer. Most of the time, unless I really have to. A lot of times it's a sense that we
I can feel that bike where I think it needs to be shifting. And then I've watched myself and watch where I shift, and I'll shift somewhere around $3,000.
Yeah.
That's where I'm comfortable. That's where she'll shove it.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, attack's nice to have, and it's nice to kind of base some things off of attack and to have it there to watch. And when you're getting on it, there's definitely benefits. But for years, people would be like, "This fat boy ain't got no tack on it. How do I know when to shift?" I'm like, "You'll know. I mean, I can put a tack on it. Yeah. There's not a bike I can't put a tack on, but I promise, go out and ride this motorcycle. The bike will tell you when to shift." If you listen,
you feel it.
Yeah, you should know.
Oh, it's gonna shift. You know, blah, 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 blah.
But with that you just twist the throttle a little bit more and advance the ignition. All of a sudden, it doesn't sound like it's working as hard. It won't be working as hard sometimes. So it depends on what your ignition advances, and that's a large part to this whole thing. So for years, as well as even now, people believe that the EPA holds things back as far as just fuel and air. That's all they're worried about. But they're also worried about ignition advancing as well. Right. So that was a big thing when it came to carbureted bikes back in the day. As we would do cams and do upgraded compression, we would advance the ignition from 7 degrees to like 10 degrees. And so what would happen is you go full throttle on 7 degrees and it'd run good, but you go full throttle and it advance up to 10 degrees. Well, it sucks a whole lot more gas, and that's why EPA cared. But ultimately, seat of the pants made a huge difference. Well, that's why you can be cruising down the road at 3,500 just cruising, and it feels like it's working hard, but you roll into it hard and all of a sudden it's like, it gains power. Well, you just advance the ignition, so it has room to do that.
Well, on my bike, like I said, I shift around. I'll probably baby that bike.
Yeah.
You know, we just take it easy. And when we get out there, I'm like, I get in traffic, like I've said this before, and I'm like, okay, I'm done. We're out of here. I'll ride around 3,500, $4,000, right in there. You can feel that thing pull.
Oh yeah.
You can feel, I don't know if it's true, you can feel that force of the G coming on you to where, you know that it went from here to here, and it just comes alive.
Sure.
It's a full, and she gets excited. You can feel her kind of grip on a little bit more, and we all just.
Well, and you can see that in the map because you're right in its sweet spot as far as, and you're going to feel that now. I mean, let's say 4,000, for instance, right? So we've got nearly, if not more, on the torque end of things, but a near 10% power gain. across the board. From what we started out with today.
Mm-hmm.
And we already had a map today, but we did some other things. We did the intake, whatnot. But you're gonna walk out of here feeling more of what you already felt. And you're gonna feel it want to even go higher.
Yeah.
And it's not like, another thing we look at too is if torque starts to drop off as you go up through the RPMs, and obviously it's going to. That's the nature of torque. Torque gets you into the wind, horsepower keeps you carried through the wind. So you're gonna drop off, but you see that you've still got, it's not like your blue line came back down into your red line, like what I was talking about down here. You've got still a steady increase across the board. I mean, it signs off on torque at 100 foot-pounds of torque. It signs off. That's where it ends at. And 100 foot-pounds of torque is not shabby.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
So, by the way, welcome to the 100 horsepower.
Yeah, the 100 horses.
Yeah,
Giddy up.
You're in the 100 horsepower.
100
club.
horse.
Which, not to take anything away from that title I just gave you, but it's fairly easy to do on an innate. I mean,
I was here, and now I'm like, yeah, you're right. Hey, man, dude, I cannot express how happy I am to be riding an M8.
Yeah.
It's freeing to ride a damn bike like that.
Yeah.
And I've rode them old Evos for a long time in 4 gears, and then you got 5 gears, and then we're looking at 6 gears.
How often you're like,
dude, I know, man. And I will
I've
tell
only
you,
done this 1,000 times, and there's no 6 gears.
There she is. Just got the tune done on the bike, as y'all seen. We are fixing to head home, which is right at 100 miles. So this should be a good test. A little run after the tuning. I'm really excited to see what this thing feels like. Like we just mentioned, we've got 105 horses with 118 torque. So we have increased it quite a bit from when we rode in this morning. The boys up here at Denny's said I should be able to feel the difference as I get on it. So I'm excited to get on this son of a bitch and see what it feels like. So let's go. You ready, Mama? To be honest with you, stock, these Milwaukee 8s are pretty awesome. Plenty enough power. But like we were talking about, us with toys, we always want more, don't we? And it's always exciting to take what you got and make it more powerful. This is my take on all the work we've done. This is my take on our new intake. Pop the lid down here. Like I said, guys, this is our first time of riding it after we put the intake on and tuned it. This is a Milwaukee 114 2019 with a stage 2 in it. I'm excited to see what she feels like. Yes, I can honestly say right there I felt a difference. It's something to write home to Mama about. I could feel a difference in the throttle for sure. Yep, I dig it. I want to increase it more. Let's do stage 4. It's never big enough, right? That's what she said. Yes. So that was just from the driveway of Denny's Harley-Davidson to the second stoplight up here. Whew, glad he's not after us. Steph and I are going to run up here and get something to eat. And then we're going to run down 65 South back down to Harrison. And I'll be able to open her up and really get the feel of it. But I thought I'd just show you guys what I thought straight out of the box. And like I said, yes, I can feel a difference. We'll get out here on the highway. We're turning east on 60 here out of Springfield, Missouri. A little after 5. Oh, nice little Ford. Yep. I'm shifting between 3 around 3,000, 3,500. I'm shifting in between there. And I have to agree with Brian. Earlier we were talking about the fact that it may feel different as far as shifting points, because I was shifting around 3. Right then I noticed myself taking it on around 3.5. I think he was totally right about that. I can already tell. I'm wanting to, it seems to be happier, a little higher RPM shifting. You were right about that, buddy. That guy, he's got a passion when it comes to motorcycles. I absolutely love hanging out and shooting the shit about bikes with Brian. He's so knowledgeable, as is all the staff there at Denny's Harley Davidson. Yep, he nailed that. I really want to flog on this thing pretty bad right now. But a man's got to be good, right? So hard, especially when you're the ornery one, to be good. And I really wanted to document this right now, because you know, after riding 400 or 500 miles, you start losing that something change feel. After so many miles, you start losing that new car smell, that new feel. Finished up with just a shade over 105 horses, and we are at 118 for torque, which I'm telling you guys, the torque on this bike is amazing. The M8 powerhouse is freaking badass. They really did something right here. Of course, you know, they left from the twin cam and then went to the single cam, kind of went back to their roots of Harley Davidson. I think they did the right thing. And what everybody's noticing about the M8 power plant is the fact that you can do so much with the horse and torque with just parts that you are able to buy and bolt on. And generally speaking, the whole bike is, of course, it's newer, it's improved. The main thing that I've really noticed is stoppability on this Milwaukee. Anything over 25 miles an hour, you can hit your front brake and it links your front and back brakes, which is really hard for me to. Still, I find myself using that back brake more because all the old shit that I've rode over my life. Majority of the old choppers that I've rode, and we only had a rear brake, we never had a front brake. And another thing really cool that we were talking about is the 2020 bike came out with hill assistance, I believe. I know everybody's like, oh my god, hill assistance, but when you're loaded down and you've been riding for 600-700 miles, you've had 12 hours in a day, and here you are, you come up on this hill and you're wore out, flat ass tired, that hill assistance would be amazing. It just gives you a split second of being able to release your brakes. It holds you so you can get into the gas out of the clutch and ease yourself up the hill, which I think is a great idea. If I want to ride something across country, I want to relax, and all these improvements to these new bikes is for a reason. I know it may be an argument, it's making you soft and this and that and other, whatever, but for me, I don't have to prove myself. I'm 42 years old, and I've rode enough shit to appreciate this new technology and the new stuff. I've got one sitting at the garage at home, that old hardtail. I can ride that, and I can guarantee you, if you rode that and jumped on this, you don't want to ride that son of a bitch across country. Here we go, boys. Oh yeah, the pickup was there. That's different for sure. I could tell a little bit right there. Turn that blinker on, twist that throttle, boom, I was gone. Honestly, I'm wanting to grab another gear. I've got 6 gears, man. You don't need 7. But I'll still catch myself trying to grab that 7th gear. I guarantee if I had a 7th, I'd be trying to find the 8th. Where will it stop? Okay, this is a fine example. Here we are coming up on these slow cars. I'm having to slow down 6th gear. I'm dropping down to about 2.5 grand. And I'm wanting to roll into the throttle. It's there. No lugging. You're just gone. And I didn't crank on the throttle. I just got into it nice and smooth. Okay. We're going to open this thing up a little bit. Oh yeah, baby. It's there. Ooh, boys, I'll tell you what, that could get somebody in trouble. I gotta watch it. That's what we're talking about, running in 5th a lot, because that 6th gear is a ticket waiting. Okay, now I've slowed down to right under 3 grand. I'm gonna get it back in it up this hill. Nice and easy. Gotta slow down the car. Oh yeah. Okay, that was a big difference right there. Okay, I gotta talk about that. That I could feel. So most of the time, getting into that throttle up these hills, because we're running hills all the time, when I get off the throttle, it kind of drop a little bit more. This, it just keep wanting to push, so I had to let off. I had to roll off the throttle even more. The thing's just breathing better. It just opened it up. I can feel it. Right here now, I'm getting to run this thing good. Oh yeah, totally. I'm gonna do a Maxwell. I'm gonna pull up Maxwell right here. I don't have a dirty thumb, so I'm gonna give it a clean thumb up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give them 2 clean thumbs up. Totally worth it. I'm super impressed. I love it. I've got to get down the road here. Cars are like, what the hell are you doing with your thumbs up in there? Oh yeah, baby. Super good. Let's roll into it. Yes. I can't say yes anymore. I could say fuck yeah. I could do that. Fuck yes. Guys, if you've got the extra money to spend on your motorcycle, I'm telling you, the stage 2 to the stock, throw that stage 2 on there. I'll tell you what, just go down there and look at everything that we've got on this bike. It's worth it. It's fucking worth it. Oh yeah. All right, I'm feeling the difference right here in this pull. I'm holding the throttle steady and I'm gaining. Gain. See, that's the difference. I'm telling the total difference right here, right now. Okay, so that would come into the torque side right there. I'm pulling these hills a lot easier. Where I would usually run the throttle, where I'm kind of used to, I'm still gaining. I'm not staying, I'm just pulling speed. Hell yes. Oh, this makes your soul happy, guys. This is what it's all about. If you're getting a little bored, you got to do a little something, right? Oh man, I love it. I'm just, ooh, I got chicken skin, guys. Time for stage 4. Oh, we're getting a little bit of rain. Good, maybe it'll wash some bugs off.